Hi guys, it's my second video that is on the present situation of the COVID-19. How the people are facing a lot of problems in country, in world, in state or society. We can't enjoy now because the lockdown is going on through everywhere. So we are not able to roam out, do the things whatever we want. But let us know a little bit about it, from where it originated, it started. Let us have a look. It started, most of the people says that it started from bat animal. It started from the wuhan city that is located in the china, next to beijing, capital of china. But it is unclear that from where it started actually. But most of the well-known authorities says that the lockdown was the only possible way that we could defeat the virus. But most of country are able to cope up with the disease and defeat the virus in many ways they are facing, but they are facing a lot of problems also, but they are able to defeat or fight with this covid-19. So let us look at example of germany, japan. Let us take few examples. Let me take the example of germany now. Germany, in germany, each state is responsible for this crisis. In handling this crisis, the government of the central government is not responsible for most of the time. It is the it is the uh, it is responsible for the state government to handle the crisis. So they started extensive testing in the mid February so they could identify the positive cases in early as possible, so they could defeat the virus. But Germany, they are maintaining both economy and COVID-19 defeating. How is that possible? Let us have a look. Germany government, if how they are doing the policies, how they are making the policies, let us know. Germany government, if a COVID person, if a person or anyone is affected by the COVID, they don't need to pay rent. It is declared illegal in Germany. Otherwise, or if you cannot afford rent, you no need to pay. When you get the money in 2020 or 221, you can pay the rent. This way, nobody becomes homeless. First step. And most of the people are facing a lot of problems in doing business, all those things. And most of the people have to pay tax in well developed countries. But in Germany, they can pay the tax in 2020 when they have a lot of monies, or they have the afford monies. So this way Germany is handling a lot of crises, like they are maintaining its economy. And most of the businessmen, if they lack money or they don't have money to continue their business, the government is providing 50,000 euros to continue their business. This way, they are handling the crisis properly, maintaining the economy of the country, and defeating the virus. If I talk about India, poverty is a big deal in India. In many states, a lot of people are facing a lot of problems, not only the poverty, who are even rich. But it's one thing, when Modi said that we should give a hand of applause to the great doctors who are hero in this situation of the dangerous COVID-19. Most of the people came out of their home holding spoon, plate, and hitting each other. This kind of this kind of thinking uh, doesn't help in decreasing the crisis. It makes more because they are coming. Is the meaning is lockdown, but they are coming out of their home dancing like fools. It's kind of uneducated. I'm not saying that I'm very educated or something. I'm saying my just opinion what people how they are doing. Just compare and see how Germany is doing, how India is doing. So why we are lagging till now? And most of the cases are increasing in India nowadays. Now let me take example of the developed country. There is Japan. Most of people know how much Japan is developed, but nobody knows what is the reason. Most of people doesn't deserve or doesn't want to know what is the reason behind. It's their culture, which is from involved from the childhood, from their home. First, Japan people have the feeling of nationality, not a selfish feeling that only I should become this or that. First come to their mind is about their nationality, nation. Japan have that thinking that if the other country or other people cannot do these things, we have to compulsory do these things. That kind of thinking has led to the development of such a big developed country. Being after the very damage of World War II, Japan is being in the top of the developed country. In Japan, people are living the normal life. They are going to office and going to all the essential works. No malls are closed, no restaurants are closed, only the closest schools. So how is that possible? Even the Tokyo is the most tourist attraction place where the most foreigners are living and the border lines are not closed or international flights are allowed in Japan. Why Japan is open or why Japan is not shut down when the entire world is shut? Tokyo is the most dense city in the world and but it is under control of covid-19. How is that possible? It is because of the culture of Japanese people. Japanese people wear masks when they travel or come out. Most of this means 60% of the people wear masks normally. This is their culture, how they could help to avoid the spreading of this dangerous crisis. Most of the people like who are facing the public like police, doctors, trained staff, they usually wear masks every time. During the winter season, they don't bother about anyone. Why? Because everyone wear masks, so they don't bother about anyone when they get cough or something. They have two kind of masks, Kodomo box masks. That is for the child, which will help in the breathing, and they have the normal masks for the citizens. The cleanness is part of the Japanese culture. They are taught how to be clean. They don't litter anything. They just use the dustbin to litter or just spit. So cleanness is a part of their culture. The children, the grown-up children or the childhood people are taught to be very clean from their childhood before learning the alphabets in school. So what do we know? Japanese people, cleanness is a part of their culture. How much beautiful Japanese culture is. They bow people to greet, they don't do handshake. And they wash their hand. It's a part of their culture. I'm not saying that people doesn't wash their hands or what, but it's different. They have soap, sanitizer in all public toilets, metro train stations, and different places where public users. They have soap sanitizers. After using a washroom or something, they keep clean the sink. Or after sitting that place, they clean it because for the next person they should feel comfortable. It's part of their culture. This way, the Japanese people help in preventing this crisis from apart from other country how they are able to handle and live a normal life like daily how they live. So Japanese culture they are taught to be very perfect in their work so they could handle this crisis with perfection. Now coming to the my country that is India, most of people are on the poverty, lot of facing lot of problems. nowadays they are not able to afford shelters or food. Lot of problems there is. But if we could develop those systems like Japanese from before, we could not be suffering so much, or we could be able to fight or defeat this virus like other country like Japan, Germany, or we could able to save even our economy also. Now coming to my own state, that is Manipur. Most of people are facing a lot of problems to afford food and shelter in their living crisis. Now everything is shut down in Manipur. Even the government are trying their best to help the people, but if the citizens are not giving like respect or something, if citizens are not helping the government to face this crisis, how the government can help? Here most of people they just come out. If the government do anything or the police do anything, they don't listen most of the time. They just come out of home, roam. They don't care. And they just have the uneducated mind that if will uh, a person or a patient who came from the hospital, they think that they have positive cases, or the person who are studying outside or who went to work or went to hospital, they think that they bring the positive cases. It's because of their not because of their irresponsibilities. Because now crisis is very dangerous, but they don't have proper sanitation. They don't wash their hand properly. They don't do sanitation properly in home. This it's basics which we need to be follow every time. So what I wanna say to all is, let us be safe in home. Let us wash our hand properly, do sanitation, and let us help the government in listening their orders. So let us try to save people. Even doctors are trying very hard to save people, so let us cope up with them. So I know it might be boring for a youngster what I'm saying, but somewhat it's give me some confidence to speak out. So whatever I know I have said little, please don't mind if anything wrong I have said or something. Thank you one and all.